Right, this is a Fox News alert. The U.S. continues to launch powerful strikes against Iranian attack drones that are threatening the Strait of Hormuz. Central Command took down 4 drones today, eliminated a 5th before it could be launched. President Trump held a cabinet meeting at the White House today where he shared an update on the situation in Iran and spoke about the possibility of a true and lasting peace in the Mideast. Take a look.
The Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Everything's gone, and they're negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't. I'm not sure we should make the deal if they don't sign. You want to know the truth? If they don't sign to join the Abraham Accords, I don't know that we have countries in there already. UAE, great countries, bold countries, and it's turned out to be so good, so effective, and so we're, requesting strongly that they join. It'll be great. It'll be great for Saudi Arabia. It'll be great for Qatar.
As South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham pointed out on X earlier today, peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia would be the single biggest change in the Middle East in thousands of years. And if anyone can get it done, it is President Donald J. Trump. Here with more, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. First of all, I guess after Cassidy in Louisiana and Cornyn and Massey, I guess it's probably a really good thing that Donald Trump again gave you multiple full-throated endorsements for your campaign. And let the truth be told, I think you played golf and, or you play golf with the president more than any single senator alive. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, because I always lose, I get invited back. So if you get nothing else out of this interview, Donald Trump endorsed Lindsey Graham. My primary is June 9th. Let's don't break his streak. So let's stand with President Trump. Let's keep his endorsement streak alive. And I am honored to have his endorsement. I've worked well with him, and I think he's the most consequential president in my lifetime. And he's cleaning up Biden's messes. Stephen Miller, who's the architect of the most secure border in the history of the country, led by President Trump's sheer will to make it secure, left out something. Donald Trump is dealing with a mess that Biden created for the world when he withdrew from Afghanistan. Russia invaded Ukraine, not on Trump's watch, but Biden's watch. Obama and Biden screwed Iran up, and Donald Trump is fixing it. Obama gave Iran tens of billions of dollars, and they took the money and they started building nuclear uranium with it, weapons-grade material. Biden reversed all of Trump's policies when he took over, and Donald Trump stopped Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. They're the weakest they've been since 1979. They're on the verge of a peace deal because they're weak. And what Donald Trump said, President Trump said about Saudi Arabia and Israel, if you get nothing out of this interview other than Trump endorsed me, if he can pull this off, if he can get Saudi Arabia, the center of Islam for the entire world, to recognize the Jewish state Israel, he will have ended the Arab-Israeli conflict that's been going on for thousands of years. They should change the Nobel Prize to the Trump Prize. If he can do that, and I think he can, it's the biggest change in the history, in the modern history, and in the ancient history of the Mideast, where the Arabs and the Jews live together, where it becomes a center of power economically, not a powder keg. And once you put Iran in a box, and he's going to do that, we're going to have peace between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Nobody thought that was possible. I believe it's possible. And there's one guy can do it, Donald Trump.
I don't think people really realize the extent. Weren't you the first person after 2020 to say, you've got to try this a third time? Would Justice Kavanaugh be on the bench if it wasn't for the relationship that you had with President Trump to fight for Justice Kavanaugh? Would the one big, beautiful reconciliation bill have passed, the largest tax cut in history, had you not had that relationship that is very close with President Trump? Or all of these discussions about the Abraham Accords, you've been saying this and you've been talking to the president about this for how long?
For almost a year. Now, President Biden tried to get Saudi Arabia to join the Abraham Accords. And what are we talking about? Recognizing the Jewish state, making peace with Israel. But he didn't make it. October the 7th stopped that process. Once you put Iran in a box, and they're the weakest they've been since 1979, to all those who are criticizing President Trump, what the hell did you do about Iran? On a Biden's watch and Obama's watch, Iran became rich and lethal. On Trump's watch, they're becoming poor and weaker. That's the difference between Obama, Biden, and Trump. Poor, rich, strong, weak. The big prize on the table in the Mideast, and really is for the world, is can you get the center of Islam, Saudi Arabia, to recognize the Jewish state? I think Donald Trump can do that. And what happened?
I know you're in contact with all of the countries in the Middle East. Are you getting an indication?
My phone's been ringing off the hook.
Sir?
My phone is ringing off the hook. My phone is ringing off the hook because he said I should link the two. He's saying to the Arabs, look what I've done for you. He saved MBS. He's the best friend Israel's ever had. Everybody in the region should rally around the idea of adding Saudi Arabia and other countries to the Abraham Accords. It would change the makeup of the Mideast in a way that nobody could envision just a year ago. It would change the Mideast for the better, the biggest change in thousands of years. To our Arab allies, you need to help President Trump. You need to embrace the fact that it's now time to end the Arab-Israeli conflict, make peace with Israel, build on the Abraham Accords. And if you say no to him, you say no at your own peril. Look what he's done for the Arab world. Look what he's done to your biggest enemy, Iran. Look how he stood by you when other people were going to abandon you. As to our friends in Israel, you have no better friend than Donald Trump. Quite frankly, Donald Trump, you owe it to him. You owe it to your people. You owe it to the world to do what he's asking you to do. Build on the Abraham Accords. I've never been more optimistic than I am right now. My phone's been ringing off the hook. President Trump, stay on this. You're right to want to expand the Abraham Accords. You can do this.
All right. Did you mention, by the way, that Donald Trump endorsed you and he gave you a full-throated endorsement, multiple? I'm just kidding. Anyway, Lindsey Graham, we appreciate you being
June
with us.
9th. Thank you, pal.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.